But we're sitting here, we're in a cockpit of a 737-400. This airplane is kind of a crossover between analog technology and digital. Although most of the boxes downstairs are digital, we're still looking at a lot of analog instrumentation. Digital air data downstairs, but an analog airspeed indicator, an analog altimeter, an analog IVSI. We still have an analog RMI with the compass card, but we do have two screens, EFA screens, an ADI, which is a shorter screen on this airplane, and an HSI, which is somewhat longer. You can get a better angle this way, better view. Those two screens have separate symbol generators downstairs that feed them. So they take in the data for the symbology and display it on the screens. So yeah, we are as a crossover. If you look at your engine instrumentation, it's not individual gauges like an analog, but it's not an EVIS tube like a full digital airplane. It is this morphodite thing with these displays. These are not EVIS displays. This is not a picture tube. So these little units are kind of specialized because, again, we're halfway between full digital and leaving the analog world behind. Still dual FMS. Most of your cockpit, this wire and print out of the way, most of your cockpit indications or cockpit controls, your audio panels, these are your controls for your displays for your symbol generators and your screens. Here's the TCAS itself, comms, fire detection right there. Your overhead panel. If I was to walk in a 100 or 200 737 and look up, other than those IRSs right there, I really wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's a lot, and you have to get yourself in a mindset that this is analog. You want to look at the screens for, let's say, hydro information. When you don't see it here, you still got low pressure, like the fuel here. You've got low pressure lights. You don't have any other warnings. You just, it would show up on your master caution, of course. But here, let me kill a pump. But again, this is, you gotta step back in time for this stuff almost. But in this case, what we're dealing with is a pilot complaint that the TCAS display on one ADI, or excuse me, HSI only, is showing TCAS fail, but not the other one. And I believe it was the number one that was showing TCAS fail and not the other one. TCAS control is right here. I'll go ahead and run a test, and I'm on the number 2 transponder right now, and I'll run a test. And there's my targets, kind of low on the screen because I've got my range down.
TCAS system test okay.
Alright, so right now everything's working. It works on both screens. I'm picking up traffic. You can watch this airplane at 15 and climbing, 16's heading out. Jumpy because I'm up near a building right there, you can see it. So my TCAS direction for the airplanes is going to be somewhat jumpy. But that plane just took off. He's definitely climbing out 2,000, 2,100. So he's on his way out of here. But I'm going to fail the TCAS, which is right back here. Oh, right there. Hello. And I have TCAS fail on that side, I have TCAS fail on that side. So the TCAS processor downstairs feeds the 2 symbol generators, which of course feed the screens. Now, I've already swapped the symbol generators. It wasn't screwed up before I swapped them, and it's not screwed up now. I'm going to go ahead and shove the breaker back in. So this is going to be a non-verifiable, a non-ground verifiable fault. It's going to be an intermittent fault. It's initially showed TA off and then TA only and traffic, because I do have traffic. I'll go ahead and switch over to the number 1 transponder just for shits and grins. Hit the test again, and again, I'm missing a lot of targets.
TCAS system test okay.
Alright, well, again, I can't verify this problem on the ground. So unfortunately, all I can do is swap the symbol generators. I still have to do a maintenance manual checkout of both displays per the symbol generator R&R, and we'll just see what happens. If the problem follows over to the first officer side, I'll certainly be able to change the symbol generator and move on downtown, but for right now, this is all we can do. Bye.